Look, I'm so sorry for trapping you inside of the freezer, but you just gotta understand me. I love role-playing, and while there's been many great diatribes on what makes a good CRPG, JRPG, TTRPG, there's never been a good enough talk, in my opinion, on what makes a good RPT. Role-playing toy. Now, I like these things quite a great deal. In fact, I went through the trouble of tracking down the first one ever made. And I just gotta ask, are they even important? What makes a good one? Why do they even matter? And does this one suck? Alright, you're going back in now.
Okay, but first, some context. Kamen Rider is a show where the main character will tell you a lie at the start of every episode. Then, over the course of a given adventure, will become a masked vigilante who at times rides a bike and succumbs to the crushing amount of death they become surrounded by, of both civilians, loved ones, and monsters alike. To sell toys to kids, of course. Unlike your Batmans and Spider-Mans, there's a new Kamen Rider each year who, actually gets to be his own character. And along with them, they get a variety of toys meant to simulate the gear they have. This means weapons, gadgets, and the belt they use to transform. Each belt past the mid-aughts, usually called a driver, also has a variety of collectible doodads to access different transformations and to drain your bank account.
In this box, I have some goodies from the 2025 to 2026 season, courtesy of JP Fans, Japanese proxy shipper, and sponsor of today's video, but more on them later. But if you are interested in snagging some exclusive shipping coupons, sign up with them with my link below. Not for today. Okay, packaged up nicely. So we have the Zetz driver, the Breakum Zetzer, and a bunch of Capsums. Never mind, we have my favorite self-proclaimed cuckold, Mr. Hunty himself.
そうですよ。ね、なんか寝取られたみたいな。寝取られ大丈夫？言って。ちょっと。やめてください。やめてください。シャイニー！
If you would like some goodies of your own, you can go to JP Fans, a proxy shipping service where you can buy Japanese goods from a growing number of sites, ship them to their warehouse where they can be held up to 60 days for free, and then package up all the things you bought and send it your way. Do know that this is a middleman with a Japanese warehouse, so there is a brokerage and international shipping fee that is not cheap. My tip is to shop when you have multiple items on your wish list so you can get the most out of your shipping fee. The good news is that secondhand collectibles in Japan are usually cheaper than what you'd find over here stateside, and often in much better condition. If you sign up with my link below, you can get 8 exclusive shipping coupons that you wouldn't get from just signing up on the website normally. So remember to sign up with my link below to find your own haul on JP Fans. So this is Kamen Rider Zetz's transformation belt, the Zetz driver, and it is a bit tiny. I was kind of expecting that. These are toys made for Japanese children, not giant American men. These are essentially glorified noisemakers, meant to put you in the shoes of whoever you're role-playing as. Being proportionally sized to a child lets them role-play as Baku Yorozu, the main character, as he transforms into his superhero counterpart, but, obviously this is not the case for me. That's a design trade-off. That's fine. I could swap out the belt on this to make it longer, or just wait for them to inevitably release a CSM driver, which is essentially their adult collectible line that is more prop accurate. As you become older, these little toys have to be more and more prop accurate. If you look at the market, that is just the way it is across all of these things. Like a Spider-Man web shooter for a kid is just a silly string can attached to a wrist mount. For an adult, it's just a prop replica. Is this because adults have less imagination? Well, yeah, the younger demographic that these things are aimed for, the more inaccuracy you can get away with in lieu of play patterns. Because the play is like what's important here. In the show, this strap is silver and changes color. Obviously they can't do that in the toy. This actually holds a different, really cool gimmick to make that feeling happen without directly emulating it physically. Now, to make a good roleplay toy where the sounds actually matter, you need to make the sounds build up a layered experience. You might be familiar with other roleplay toys like the Omnitrix. Whenever you press the Omnitrix,
You guys wanna rumble? No way you get past these, Viney. Oh yeah. Who's picking
it does voice lines, which is not really conducive to creating the experience of turning into an alien hero. It just really makes it feel like they took lines from the show and put it onto a little doohickey. This is a problem with a lot of Power Rangers toys too, where they add in voice lines that sometimes aren't even from the actors in the show itself.
Vehicle ready. Megazord action.
And it just kind of cheapens the experience. This takes a different approach. Oh, it has a confirmation sound and a standby. It has another standby to make sure you're really ready to transform. This is a dangerous machine, supposedly, that transforms you into a suit of armor, so it has to ask. And it has a beam of light going by to tell you what to do next. And it's followed up by a light show. And sound effects from the show that create the experience that you're doing what's on screen without any other extra voice lines from the actor or anything. And the best part is that, obviously, you can't transform into a suit of armor in real life, but it can color these bands like it does in the show to create some sense of actual transformation with the device that you're using. And then there's more functions. You can press this little plunger again. It's telling you what to do again. But you can experiment. You can press it again. This is a machine with various functions. Oh, if you press it again, the meter goes up by 1. It becomes a stronger attack. Oh, and now it's kind of going to the range of its possible output. What happens if you do it again? Oh, it flashed rainbow. It did a stronger attack. It builds a layered experience that you're actually using this device for a function other than...
I'll give you a run for your money.
And it goes beyond that. It has a release for this. And it still glows red in the color that it's supposed to, because in the show, he can take these out and put them into a weapon without de-transforming. To de-transform, you actually have to press that plunger and then it turns off. The noises aren't there just to make noise. They're there to make this feel like an actual machine with functions that respond to your inputs. I've killed the lights and put it on the dark surface so you can see it a little bit better, but you can do mode changes as well. And now Flash is a different standby color. It's neat. What's cool with this one is that it's a Legend Rider item, meaning that it's based off of a previous Kamen Rider's powers. In this case, Geats, who has a red bottom half and a white top half, just like the guy. Every one of these guys comes with a little flipbook animation. It's kind of cool. The belt actually makes these capsum, these plastic doohickeys that look like Gashapon capsules, not the first Kamen Rider item to look like a Gashapon capsule, and not the last, because Bandai owns Gashapon. They make them feel like actual powerful items, because they have a function with the devices that makes this feel like a real action. Of course, it's fun to pretend, but it's nice when a device interacts with them and distinguishes what they are. Now, there's more to it than just this. Of course, you need a weapon, too. This is the Breakum Zetzer, the main weapon for Kamen Rider Zets. Or should I say main weapons, depending on how you place this weapon bit. It changes modes. It too is compatible with Capsum. And it does a finishing move. Although I will say it is disappointing. If we peel this open, we'll see these 6 little slots, which align to the pins on the back of the capsum. If we compare both of these slots, you can see that the actual belt can tell which capsum is put inside it and can make specific noises for it, making them feel like they all have special powers, whereas this one does not do that decidedly. So what this actually does is have a little wheel that presses down to sense when you put in a capsum, and then once you rotate it, it makes the sound that indicates it's about to do the finisher. And once you finish the standby, it makes the same sound, always, no matter what, no matter what's in here, which is kind of a letdown. It makes it feel like these are not individual items and just the dinky little pieces of plastic that they really are. Even then, I think that these are still pretty good roleplay toys. They do everything a roleplay item should. It responds to your actions. It has ways to experiment and explore with it. It went through the effort of having a bunch of green plastic under here to color everything green, like circuit boards, including like the batteries and the speaker down there. So it seems like an actual high-tech piece of gear. And even though there's a visible switch and plate for batteries and copyright information and manufacturer date, there's still greedly details all over that makes this feel like some gear. Look, you and I both know kids don't actually need all of these lights and sounds to play pretend. They will do it no matter what. But I think having this device that responds to their inputs in very particular and measured ways does help them get into character and really, and you're gonna hate me for saying this, feel like a Kamen Rider. There's something to be said about holding a prop, the ancient human tool for playing pretend. Nearly every culture has invented masks to play pretend, baby dolls to play pretend, toy swords that flash with glowing lights to play pretend. Surely, this is an innate part of human existence, and I don't think we can write off toys as anything less than an art form. There are sculptors who added every last detail, sound engineers who added every last sound, and manufacturers who determined what kind of plastic to use where, and people to paint all of the little details. I don't like it when we create a dichotomy between toys and art, because I feel like that's creating a dichotomy between plays and art, movies and art, comics and art, books and art. Every single piece of art that we have created is in the pursuit of playing pretend. And what else is more purely in that pursuit than a plastic toy that makes a sound when you press a trigger? Anyways, I think these are like okay. They could be better.